What are we talking about today?
We're talking
Mitch,
about
kick us off there with
hairstyles.
the topic. You always kick
So-
off the topic. Go ahead.
So we are talking today about affordable ways to market yourself in 2024. Cost-effective ways to market yourself in 2024.
24
Okay,
to
that's a
25,
good topic for me.
47 days.
2025. Yeah. I forgot.
47
when
days
you,
to bake a
I
fire.
won't realize it's not 2024 until June of next year. And I go, oh yeah, it's 2025.
Well, here we
What's
go. Look
up,
at
everybody?
and the hair has arrived.
Bobby.
What's
Bobby is
happening?
on the line. So
How y'all doing?
hair has arrived.
Good.
And Bobby's got his hair looking like a 12 right now at his new office. Look at that. Aerodynamic.
Hey, Ross, how you doing, buddy?
You know they've designed airplanes after Bobby's hair to have more aerodynamic efficiency.
Yeah. I can land in water.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's kick it off. I like to always go with the youngest first, so I'm going right to Cam Smith. Cam, what
Damn.
are so Mitchie again? Most affordable ways in 2025 to drive
Yeah,
business.
cost-effective ways to market yourself in 2025.
Go ahead, Cam. You're off and running.
All right, let's get it going, guys. Good morning. I'm excited. This is obviously for most agents that aren't running a mega team. This is huge. So I'm going to go through my top 5. I'm going to be quick. I'm sure everyone's going to kind of dig into these deeper throughout today because they're, in my opinion, the most efficient, but they're also the most affordable. So number 1, email newsletters. Everyone here should be doing a bi-monthly email newsletter. They're just fantastic. You can do a what's going on in your area newsletter, and then obviously do a market update or kind of your opinion on the market update. Very, very easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's one of those things that you can keep in contact with everybody, your past clients, your future clients, friends, family, anyone that you can be sending it out to, and it works great. So that's my number 1. Number 2, obviously, is picking up your phone and making the calls. That one's a little scarier. A lot of people aren't going to do that. Typically, if you already are making your contacts through the phone, you're pretty busy or you're staying busy. Obviously, if you aren't, you have to work on that. It's one of those things. We all have that same fear. Pick up the phone, make the call, make the connection, and you're going to find it's not as scary as that you're worried about. Who to call, your contact list. This is a great time to do that happy holidays call. Mitch is famous for this, and I think he's probably going to dive into this even deeper. So I'm excited to hear his new strategies, but it's just a great way to go through your list, make that call, make those connections. Obviously, your CRM for market updates or telling someone about a new hot listing that matches what they're looking for. You can do that with every single contact. So that's always something you do. And then obviously friends, family, sphere of influence, those are calls that we should all be making, not for business, you guys, but because people want to have happy holiday calls. They want people to reach out to them and know that they care. One of the things I'll say personally is everyone on this panel has personally reached out to me throughout my life for, successes, but also for challenges. And it really means a lot when, these guys do that. So that is the kind of stuff that you can do for your clients and your friends, family, those kind of calls to those sphere of influences, super important. Door knocking with a flyer or something to leave. Again, a really low cost thing. You just got to print it out. And then obviously the more you walk, the better you are. But that is a great low cost way to do it. And then my last one that I'm going to actually, no, I have 2 more. So my last one there is doing mailers. So you can do mailers. Obviously, a lot of folks do automated mailers. You can do them yourself though, you guys. So when you're starting out or if you're a low cost, 1-person team, you don't need to have the companies doing them for you. Get out, get stuff sent out consistently. You can do it from a home printer, stamp it, mail it, do it yourself. That is obviously the most cost-effective way to do it. And then last way, obviously, social media. We're going to dive into all these deeper, obviously, but social media is great. My way that I have found to have actual results is posting the successes that I'm having, posting the homes you're selling, posting the showings that you're doing, showing the people out there that you're out there doing it, you're working it, and you can help them too. That gets people to call. That is my biggest kind of advice when it comes to social media, because there's a big trap when it comes to what to post, how much time to spend, and all of that. So make sure that you're being very focused when it comes to social media. But we have some great panelists on today. I'm really excited to hear what everybody says. So I'm going to actually hand it back to you guys because those are my quick tips. And I'm excited to kind of hear how everyone dives into those as we go.
I like those tips. And, just to add on the social media, you guys, because it can take up a lot of time, try an approach where you're explaining your process and how it's going to find a solution for them. So explain, how are you finding off-market opportunities? Tell stories about getting the winning bid on a house, or how many offers there were on there, what the process was like, because people want to live the process through somebody else, and they want to get information and they want to understand it before they approach it. All right, let's go for Cam. He came in hot, he kicked it off. He's our youngest, so he's got the X factor behind him. And we're gonna go from that over to my favorite Gail. She's like a thorn, like a rose amongst all the thorns here today. That's it. Gail, what are you doing affordability wise for 2025? What is your plan to stay in front of your spare of eye and past clients?
Okay, well, I'm just going to give you something I'm doing right now that I've had really good success at. I'm going to give you two things. One that both of them cost you a little bit of money. I'm sorry, you got to spend some money, a little bit of money on marketing, right? So one thing that I have not done, because I've been in like this dark tunnel taking care of my mom, is I haven't been like on YouTube, right? Because I haven't really been feeling that energy. So I made a commitment to myself. I got a phone call about, I don't know, it's probably 6 weeks ago from a buyer. And I just closed it as a 1.4 buyer, 1.4 million. The found me from a YouTube video from a year ago. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out, because I overcomplicate everything, right? I'm like thinking, okay, I got to do this. I got to, get the editing, you just overcomplicate it. So I went out, I was a photographer for 25 years. Why can't I figure this shit out? Okay. I found the easiest thing. Normally I'm carrying these big cameras and I got tripods. This thing is called the Osmo, right? It is freaking amazing. I've just put out 16 videos and, so I go in, I've been doing the home tours. Guess what? People at EXP have already invented this. So when I'm going, look at Suman Kim. He's crushing it, okay? And I've always and I've been a coach with Mike Sherrard with the Atlas Group, and I'm the one from the dark side, because I do the prospecting, I do the door knocking. Well, guess what? This is freaking working. So I have this, wherever I go, I annoy the hell out of my husband, my friends, where if I'm eating, whatever it is, I have Gail's favorite things now. I actually just am releasing one of my mom today, because I did, wait, don't move your parents in, right? And then she did one that says, beware, don't move in with your kids, right? So it's like, so just kind of like playing off each other. And I'm telling you, just in the last week, I've gotten like another 53 subscribers, right? I don't want subscribers. I want call to action. I'm all about CTA. Pick up the phone and call me. So the biggest surprise with this thing is, and I made a commitment doing 3 a week. I'm releasing 3 a week. I'm just going to, because it keeps me out in front of people. So now at Toll Brothers, they just called me and they said, Gail, are you too busy to take a listing? I'm like, what? So because I made friends, I've been going in doing all these home tours. I haven't even released those. Those are my filler ones, because right now I'm, I did a SWOT analysis. Like Dave Lawson always says, David, I missed you, by the way. It was not the same in Miami without you. But I just kind
sorry,
of
I missed you.
On who's doing what out there. It could be in California. It could be, you could basically, with these tools like Claude and YouTube Buddy, you can regurgitate other people's videos, get the whole transcript. That's a whole nother show. But it's been like, I've been like, trying to get the teleprompter. I'm like, no, I've just simplified it. So I know I can shoot a whole video, and I really do it in one take. Well, maybe two. And then I just let them edit it, right? I'm paying for editing, but at the end of the day, I'm really committed. You have to commit. My commitment is I am going to be in front of everybody. So now I've got a listing because she's doing a contingent offer on a brand new house. So make those people in those new homes are suffering right now. They're so slow. The home builder that I have, I'm really good friends with a wife, and she said, we're so slow. So what are those people doing? They're worried about their jobs. Go in there, bring them lunch, go bring them a freaking Jersey Mike sandwich. And they will not, you don't think they'll take your card and they'll remember you? Just make friends with those people. Why are those people, they're sitting there because new homes used to be 24% of our market right now, but because, now that Trump's in, woohoo, if you don't like it, too bad. I've had so many more people engaging with me because they're so excited about what's happening with our country now. So make friends with the new home. Go to 3 new homes this week, communities, and just go in there and say, can I take, even if you use your phone and just do a video, a walkthrough and say, I want to promote you. I have people in California, I've got people in New York. I'm sending your videos out. They will appreciate that. They want to move homes. So the other thing I did, and I just bought 3 new neighborhoods. These things, pressure for me. I'm on my 12th listing. My 12th listing. Pete and I are like we're the poster children for it. So I just picked up 3 new homes and my lenders all pay half. So listen to this. I've gotten 3 neighborhoods because I decided to venture out. I'm going to go into a higher price point. I got my lenders to pay half. One neighborhood has 134, and that's where I sold the 1.4. It's a gated community. Paying 200, I think a total of $210 for that, right? So all together, I picked up 3 new neighborhoods and I'm paying $600 a month because I have 2 different lenders paying half. These things are crushing it for me. That's data, right? Because math is the path. People don't care how great you are, or what you sold, or what you got pending. What they want to know is, what can I sell my house for? What can I, they're looking at numbers. So engage in that. And that's all I'm going to give you for now, because there's so many other good people on here. That's why I jumped on, because I want to suck your information. No, that sounded wrong. I want to know what you guys are doing so I can add it to my business.
Gail's the best. I love that. Great tips. The Osmo, is this a certain type of Osmo?
It's
Or is
a
it
Pocket
the
3,
Osmo?
Pocket 3,
Huh?
$500, Amazon Prime. Hey, go get it. Use it for 30 days. If you don't like it, return it. Amazon Prime, it's amazing. And there's so many good videos, and you can reach out to me directly if you want to know what my workflow is. We are an open book. The reason we're giving up our time, and I'm so glad to be back in the brotherhood right here, is because I get more out of it than I give. To honestly, I get more out of these guys. So, if you guys showed up today, you made a great decision. So Osmo, Pocket 3, Amazon, and then I do have these little, you want good sound. I have a black one and a white one. They just go right here or, on the table. I usually put it just on the table in front of me. So
Yeah,
it's
sounds
easy
super
to-
important. Sounds
Yeah.
super important. I think that's key. Who
Yep.
does the editing, Gail? Who edits your
Oh.
videos?
So I am paying good money for that. And I wouldn't recommend who I'm using because I'm not super happy with them. I am looking, and that's what happens, but I'm not going to stop but done is better than perfect. So I am currently, and I don't want to say it's a well-known company. If you text me personally, I will tell you who I'm using, but I'm paying $1,500 a month for 3 videos a week, but it's getting out. It's getting out, and it's getting done. Now the home tours, I'm not paying them to do that. I'm doing those myself, and I'm using Filmora. I just asked Suman Kim, what are you doing? He pays for none. I mean, if you can edit, I just don't want to sit in front of a computer and edit. I'd rather call an expired, right? So, at the end of the day, you could do 1 a week. 1 is better than none. So then you could pay less.
Yeah, can you put in the chat your IG and your
Yes.
YouTube name so everybody
Yeah,
has that?
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to Gail. I'm going to subscribe right now. I love it. Okay,
I'll do it.
let's go from Mama G over to Dave Luxury Lawson. Look, he's out in the mountains. I can see the leaves changing colors. Dave, what are you and your team doing in 2025? Affordable marketing techniques that you're going to utilize to develop more business, get more ROI?
Well, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So as Gail was talking about, we're doing real marketing. The other thing is when the market slowed down, we've ramped up some of our mailers, just general mailers with Robo ink. They're handwritten letters that are not handwritten, but they look like it. They get opened. They've been very successful for us. And just getting back to the basics, you know, I tell people right now, we're in a pros market. The amateurs are going away. They're on their, you know, if these people have sold 0, 1, or 2 homes, they're out of the business, right? Just no one's told them yet, right? And that's the vast majority. 60% of all the agents haven't done virtually anything and they're leaving, right? So if we're in a pros market, what do? We go back to the basics. We talk to our past clients. We talk to people. We have a schedule. And I'm getting off a little bit because, you know, I think the very best marketing tool in the entire world is this right here. You know, we have so much business in this device right here. We just have to call the people. I like Cam when he said, you know, have a newsletter. We have a newsletter that goes out. We're only doing it once a month with the newsletter, but then we do something else in the middle of the month where we're giving value to people. But at the end of the day, I think the very best thing is for us just to focus on, you know, look at your business, find out what's working, do more of it. And when you watch all the panelists today, I'm making notes right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find one thing from one of the panelists that I'm going to try to add to my business in order to make it better. Don't try to do everything. We can't do it. You know, I love what Gail said. You know, one is better than none. Just do something. The other thing that we do, and I've shared before, is that an 11 by 17 mailer. It's a trifold. It's in a number 16 envelope. And I can tell you, when you mail something to somebody in an envelope that is this big, it's a very odd sized envelope. It's real easy. Take an 11 by 17, fold it 3 times, and that's the size of the envelope. You mail it to somebody, they always open it because they've never gotten a mail piece that is of that size. So, and I'm actually down in Ross's neighborhood. I have an appointment with somebody down here in Palm Desert. So Ross, I'm going to check in with you a little later today. I tried to get here yesterday, but anyway, so I'm down in Palm Desert and it's not snowing right now, right, Ross?
I'm sure
It
it's
is
beautiful out there.
beautiful. So
Definitely not snowing.
so that's what I'm going to say. But the thing is, do what you're doing best or what you do well, do a lot more of it, pick one other thing. So I'm going to turn it over to the next.
Well, let's
person.
go immediately. That's a good lead in. We're going to go to Ross the boss, who is out in the desert. He runs a big team out there. Ross, what's the one thing you're doing 2025 to ramp up more business that's affordable marketing wise?
Yeah, I think affordable marketing wise, I spoke on a panel yesterday, and the guy who kicked it off was talking about social media, and that's something that I'm really lacking in, and probably something I'll never really be good at. But I wanted to share with you all his takeaways, and like it changed my opinion a lot on social media, and his approach was not like do a real estate page. It was find the 3 things you really like and post about that. So he was like, I like pickleball. I'm not a good pickleball player, but I like pickleball. I like making sourdough, and I like and I like to do real estate, right? So he's got a page of like him goofing around playing pickleball and making sourdough bread, and he got to like 350,000 followers because that's more relatable than real estate. So then people connect with them because they're like, oh, I love what you do. And then he's able to then introduce real estate to them and then build a network based on relationships rather than people feeling obligated to use you for real estate because they know they're looking at a realtor. So if that's kind of hidden behind the scenes and you're putting yourself to the forefront, I think that's a really cool strategy, because I know every single realtor out there, like including myself, is posting about real estate. Like that is my calling card. That's my team page is all about that. But then I looked at my personal page and was like, cool, what's important to me? My family, being like traveling a little bit. Well, when I say traveling, it's not like Matt travels the world. It's like me going to a resort and sitting by the pool. I'm not very uncultured, but that's what I like. And then, and it's about like some sports stuff or events or whatever. So like, that's what my personal page is about. And then I want to kind of boost that about myself because I want to make relationships with people on a human level rather than like if you don't use me for real estate, like we're not friends. And that's not a relationship I ever want to harvest. That's not how I operate. But I don't want people to assume that's how I'm going to act because most people in our profession do. They get offended if their friends don't use them. And honestly, in my business, I don't really do business with friends. It's all new people that I've harvested and found on my own. So that's my biggest takeaway. And then I would say the cheapest way if you want to get your business started is find a team leader that you would like to emulate, and you would like to kind of direct your business path after on an individual selling level. It's a lot easier to tread a path when you're following in somebody's wake than it is to tread your own path, especially in a downsized market with a limited budget. So latch on and learn, and then become who you want to be in that space. It's an easier way than to just like be sitting around hoping your phone rings, because it won't. So that'd be my two things on how to leverage a down market piece.
No, I like that. I think it's very authentic when you start giving people a view of what you do outside of real estate. That's relatable. So love that idea. Thank you. I mean, I'm going to turn into Pickleball Pete then. That's what it's going to be.
I love it, man. Pickleball and like roller skates or something.
Yeah,
like everybody
Pickleball
would
Pete.
watch it.
That's
Yeah,
it. I'm going to have
love
a
it.
shirt that says Pickleball Pete. I'm going to wear the headband, wristbands, the whole deal. Right?
Fantastic. I
I'm
love
doing.
it.
I'm going right into that when I get back. Hey,
Just give me some shout outs.
that's great. I want to go from you to my brother from another mother, otherwise known as the ROG, the real estate opportunity guy. He's creating opportunities all over Philly. Craig Lurch, what are you doing this upcoming year that's affordable marketing to get a huge return?
Listen to everything that everybody said throughout the year. We're down to 47 days to the end of the year, and we're going to light one big freaking fire. We've used that line before, but it's where it is. And we've said exactly the goal is to do the most without spending the money. And it was going exactly what David did. But there are things that I was watching. I decided not to watch real estate. I'm looking at what other companies are doing. And one of the things that we don't do is send texts of information. So we have kvCORE, we have ways to do that now. Why wasn't I doing that? So when we have a price improvement, we're now texting it to all the agents that we've collected in our database. When we have a price improvement or we have a new listing that might be off market because not everybody wants to go hot to the market right away, we're texting that to our top 100. Our top 100 is not just our top 100, it's the top 500, but I call it our top 100 clients that we've worked with that are people that send us referral, that are warm and fuzzy, that I can pick up the phone. These are the people that if I'm in a downtime or I'm driving through a neighborhood, I'm going to stop by and just throw a note on their door. Hey, by the way, was in the neighborhood, was thinking about you. Those random things is what we're trying to do. We're creating the relationships. People want to work with people that care about them. And in this crazy world that we live in, no matter what it is, some families are breaking up because of the present world that we're in, and that's okay. People want to be loved. People want to know you care, and that's what I'm working on. So we're going back to what other companies are doing that are outside of real estate and doing that. We went to the mailers. We do a mailer to a marketplace, 1,000 of them. We use Thanks.io. We use this oversized postcard that's 9x6. I got 2 listings just because of that this year. The listings were 1.4 and 1.6 million. I've spent $9,800 all year sending these postcards, thinking of money, and I double-ended one. Well into the over $100,000 mark from just those postcards in that little bit. Why? I picked an area, I did it consistent, and I educated the market to the neighborhood. And it talked about, by the way, I live here too. Nobody's going to care more because I live here. Talk to me. And you start doing those things. All of that came from being here. That mailer, like Gail did, All I did was make it a postcard because it was less expensive. It's 91 cents. A card, printed, color, sent. That's inexpensive. And again, the other thing we've done is that if we're driving by and see houses with high grass, dumpsters, roofs going on, we have a postcard that is automatically, I call my VA, I always say, send a postcard to this house. We have a buyer looking, cash paid for your house, settle in 7 days, whatever it might be, to try to get their attention. 50% of those people are going to be moving. How many times have you driven by a house with a dumpster or a roof or high grass, and the next week you're like, I should have done something. Well, now I do it. I call my VA and we mail it for 91 cents. It's done, it's out, and it's there in 3 days. So those are the three things we're focusing on: watching what's going on in our marketplace, consistent with our mailers, and then also using the technology to the people we know, which is the emails. If you're not emailing twice a month, like I think it was Cameron said, or whatever it is, we actually do it 4 times a month. We do 2 picks of the week, which is whether it's my listing or not, what house I think is the best in the market, best buy, and promote that. Hey, pick it a week. It's not listed by us, but if you're looking or have a friend, call us. You can do it as long as you put who has it down below in small print. It's called broker reciprocity. Check your state. I don't know all the rules, but we're doing a lot of that emailing, texting, and calling, and handwritten notes. Those are the 4 things mainly.
Love it. Okay, we got 30 minutes left. We're gonna go into the speed round. We're gonna go with Mitchie. He's still going through puberty, so his voice is only good till around 11 o'clock in the morning. Mitch, what's your one tip that you would suggest doing in 2025 that's affordable to get more business?
All right. I got like 50 tips, but I'm gonna narrow it down. So I just posted in the chat what you should do. I'm gonna give you a 5-second story on this. I was at EXPCon speaking at an event, and I teach people this all the time is about, it's all about your phone, your database. Like Dave said, you guys have more business sitting here in your phone you'll ever need in your entire life. So I had a guy from the UK, and he challenged me after the event. He goes, "There's no way what you just told me," which I just posted in the chat, that actually works. So I said, "Look, there's people here that want to talk to me that are actually smarter than you." No, I'm kidding. So I said, "You go over here and do exactly this, and then we'll talk in 15 minutes." So in 15 minutes, he texted 200 plus people with this message, right? And he was blown away within let's see, within the 15 minutes, he got 5 leads within 15 minutes. One wanted to list the house that day. And within the hour, he had 9 leads. Now, we didn't talk after that. I didn't follow him. So my point is you have more business sitting in your phone. Just ask for business. It's not very difficult. You know how much it costs? Nothing. It's completely free. I had one of my agents came to me recently complaining about business. I said, "Look, we're at a bar having a vodka because I try to drink as much vodka to kill anything in my body that would hurt me." And so I made him pick up his phone. I made him put this in his phone. He texted 90 people in the 10 minutes we were there. Because by the way, you just copy and pasting. It's high Bill paste, high Tom paste. You can go through 100 people in minutes. In 5 minutes, maybe 10, he got 2 leads and sold 2 homes in 2 weeks. Just ask. I mean, if there's any advice I can give you, just stop sitting there. I mean, I love social media. It's great. I get yelled at a lot on there. My wife yells at me for posting stuff they're inappropriate, but that's my wife. But the reality is you've got to ask for business, whether that's postcard marketing, whether it's email marketing. The other thing is, and I'm going to post another thing in the thing, is open houses are gold right now, right? So I just posted another video inside the chat there for you, which is open houses and how I work my sphere of influence. If you just do what I just told you, these 3 things, open houses, sphere, and this texting thing, you'll kill it in 2025. Guarantee you.
Yeah, and you can even take the texting thing to the next level. I want Mitchie actually to test this. Just pull out your phone and fluctuate your voice and take a quick video and say that script that Mitch gave you, and then just cut and paste that on the text. People love seeing video. They love seeing your face. They love seeing the emotion. And if you say, "Hey, can you watch this right away? I really, really need your help," they'll watch it. Make it less than 20 seconds or 10 seconds. And just say, "Hey, I was just in a class they're running a big contest. I want to win. I really, really, really need your help. Who do you know is going to buy or sell in the next 30 days? Who can you send my way? That's it.
And by the way, just on the text there, it's really important. Really, really, it's very powerful. Don't just say I really need your help. Say I really, really need your help. It's like it's a psychological thing. I read somewhere once, and it's phenomenal. It gets a way better response than just say, "Hey, I really need your help." It's like, look, I really, really need your help. Just like this is not rocket science, folks. This is not difficult. Even a caveman can do it. It's really easy.
No, that's great. And that was a great tip, Mitch. Let's go down to Bobby Martin. He's got the best hair in the business. There he is. He's moving up. He's moving on up. That's it. Bobby, what's your #1 tip for next year that you're going to use marketing-wise to get ROI?
All right. So I've got a couple things for you here. First off, it's all about relationships, right? Everything that we're doing is to forge more relationships. And a couple of you guys have already said it. It's all about the phone. So before you go out and spend money, and before you go out and waste a bunch of time on all these marketing things and everything, if you haven't exhausted this and the people that you already know and love, then you're really just adding a lot of work to be done. And a lot of times people will do all this other stuff. They'll do the marketing stuff, and then they're like, okay, we're waiting for that phone to ring because they don't want to make those outbound calls. And so really, if you're not doing the outbound calls, you got to start doing them. That's going to be the most important thing. Now, here's what you do right now. Okay. You're making a call, you call them up and you tell them, hey, I've got a great thing that we're doing in 2025. We're going to do a referral contest. So every time you introduce someone to me who wants to buy or sell a house, when they close on that house, you're going to get into a drawing for $5,000 at my holiday party in 2026 or whatever, So you can massage this however you want. I've done this for years, but we stopped once COVID happened because we always like to give this big check at the final party. And so this is a really good way for you to be able to pick up the phone and have a reason to call them, because I'm not one that calls people all the time. This is something I need to do more of, but you got to have stuff to talk about. So this gives you a reason to talk about. Now, the other thing you want to be doing is, ask them if they have any questions about the market. Do you have any intention to buy or sell a house in the next year? Now, by the way, if they buy or sell a house with you, they also get a drawing. So if someone buys and sells and then refers, they get three entries into this drawing. So obviously, the more entries you have, the more chance you have. We like I said, we've done this for years. It was a great tool for me to be able to talk to people. Now, when you're making these calls, let's do a couple other things while you're doing it. Is their home in a trust? If it's not in a trust, you need to get their home into a trust. You need to explain to them about probate and all those things and make sure that they do it. If it is in a trust, then obviously you're good. Interest rate. What is your interest rate? Because you should be tracking that because, obviously as their realtor, you want to let them know like, hey, that 6.5% rate that you had, you can now get that down to 5. Okay. So make sure you're getting that information. And then also another big thing that, again, with your past clients, your friends, do a free CMA video for them. You should do like 3 or 5 of these a day, every single day. It costs nothing. It's just a little bit of your time, or maybe you even have an assistant do it. So that's, as far as calls, that's what you should be doing right now. Wishing them happy Thanksgiving and wishing them happy holidays, all of that stuff. If you're going to have a holiday party, obviously you're inviting them to that as well. So now after you've done that, then it's just a matter of evergreen marketing. Okay. So evergreen marketing is marketing that's always going to be out there. So your YouTube videos, your Facebook stuff, your educational tutorials, all of that is pretty much free except for Gail, you're paying $1,500 a month. You know, it does get pricey if you're doing a lot of them. But you know, don't let that stop you. It doesn't have to be super refined. You know, as long as you're doing the video, that's what matters. A lot of times people want to make it perfect and then it never gets perfect and then they never do it. So let's see here. Birthday videos. If you send somebody on Facebook in Messenger a birthday video, you know, make it fun. I had somebody do this for me once, that he basically said that this is what happened on your birthday, you know, and he'll go through all the historical stuff, or, you know, these are the people who were born on your birthday, and go through that kind of stuff. You know, it took 45 seconds. It was a nice gesture. It made me laugh my ass off. And so that's what you want to do. Client lunches, very inexpensive, you know, to take your clients, your friends out to lunch, get belly to belly with people. And then the last thing I'll say is using ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT every single day, you are totally missing out. There is so much that we can learn and become just way more refined and just a much better real estate agent. I'm using it now for helping me convince clients of certain things. So for example, I got a client who wants to do a reverse mortgage, but the family's kind of like, I don't want to do a reverse mortgage. I went on ChatGPT and I basically did an amazing prompt that kind of talked about exact situation, and it gave me 3 pages of amazing content that I just forwarded over. Now I'm letting ChatGPT do the work for me. I don't have to sell them. So that is the last thing I'd like to share. If you're not using ChatGPT, I'm using it every single day, multiple times, not just for business, even help with my raising my daughter who's 15 going on 30. You know, there's a lot of different uses for it. So
have you used it for your hairdo yet or not?
I have not. I've not had to ask that question. No.
I want you to ask that question immediately today. How do I get my hair to stand up like that? Because I need that.
How do
And
I
then just
get
send
my
it to
hair
me.
like his?
Yeah, just send it to me. How I get my hair like yours.
Bobby hasn't loaded that information to ChatGPT yet. So
Yeah.
no one's gonna find out.
It's a secret weapon. That's why. All right, let's go over to Matt Battiata. He's a legend in San Diego. He's not bragging, you guys, and I'm not bragging on him. He's just applying for a job. Matty, what are you going to be doing in 2025 to get ROI on the most affordable marketing piece?
Well, one really obvious one, I think, is we can all be working expireds again, because they now exist. They didn't used to for a long time, for a few years. So that's a great way. I mean, when I first got in the business, I got all my business from expireds for sale by owners, canceled listings. So I think that's a really, really good source. Everybody can do that. It doesn't cost anything to pick up the phone and call an expired or a FSBO or a canceled. So that's a huge source of business. And you don't need to just go after, expireds that just expired this morning. There are people, you can go back 12 months and pull listings that it went off the market and never sold. And most likely those people still want to sell, right? So I think that, those are, as opposed to just marketing to the whole population, I think that's a really good way to target, people that are much more likely to want to sell, is to go after expireds and canceleds. And that's, like I say, totally free. I think David Lawson mentioned doing handwritten letters. I do handwritten postcards. I use a company called Letter Labs, and they do a great job. I can design the postcard, so I can pick the image that I want to do on the front of the postcard. So if I'm mailing to, a place by the beach, like Cardiff, I'll find a really good photo on Getty Images that I can use of, like a beautiful sunset on the beach in Cardiff with the lifeguard station or something like that, to make it more local. And then I'll send those out. You can also send those to expireds, by the way. you know, no matter what marketing you're doing, I think it's really critical that you differentiate yourself from everybody else that might be contacting them. So, you know, figure out some sort of a unique selling proposition that's going to make people want to pick up the phone and call you. You know, it's funny, I was watching, I don't know, I guess it was on TV the other day, and I saw that Verizon did a commercial where they said basically you can trade in any phone, any iPhone, you can trade in and get a new phone. Now, I'm sure there are, you know, there's restrictions on that, right? Doesn't mean you're going to get a free phone, but they're using USP, right, to differentiate themselves from all the other cell phone companies out there.
Yeah.
Saying if you can, and I think they had a video of a guy smashing smashing a phone with a hammer.
Yeah.
I think it was, and saying, look, we'll take any phone, any condition. Well, what are they doing? They're trying to get people into their stores so that they can sell them a phone and sell them cell phone service, right? So you have to do the same thing with your marketing, whether it's handwritten postcards. Gail mentioned doing those market updates, which are also a great thing to do. You know, we have that company, Real Estate Marketing of California, here in San Diego, that does a great job sending those out. You know, Cameron mentioned knocking on doors, another totally free thing to do. But remember, you've got to differentiate yourself. So I'll give you an example. A couple weeks ago, I saw an expired. I reached out to them and I told them, you know, they tried to sell their house all summer here in San Diego, and it didn't sell. Well, of course it was overpriced. So I got in front of them by calling and texting them, and I haven't done this in years. I just started this year, and said, look, I can sell your house with 10 days of marketing and 1 day of showings, or 1 weekend. I can sell your house in 1 weekend. And they're exhausted from trying to sell their house for the last 4 months and not selling. So that was really appealing. And I had to go, you know, I went back and forth with them on the phone and over text. And eventually I got in front of them. I listed their house. We did 2 open houses this past weekend, and we have 2 offers on the table. And that was 100% from calling expired listings. You know, so I agree that, so the main thing is whatever you're doing, you've got to differentiate yourself with a something that makes you different and makes people want to pick up the phone. The last thing I'll give you is I started doing these little magazines. I like these magazines. This is a 32-page, I don't know if you can see it. This I'm sending out in Encinitas. It's a 32-page magazine. I get to customize it. So I have 32 pages in here, okay? Where I can, not just a postcard, right? I can tell people all about me. I can say, why should you use us, right? I can tell all these different pitches that makes me different, right, than the competition. I can show listings that I'm selling, but I have 32 pages, and the best part is look what's in the back. Ads. I can sell advertising to my vendors, right? The people that I send business to, and they help pay for the magazine. You can't really do that. I mean, you can get a lender to help you a little bit with a postcard, but with a magazine like that, you have a lot more space where you can sell ad space to your home inspector, your termite company, your painter, you know, anybody that you send business to. So, you know, hopefully our volume is going to go up as far as listing inventory. I think it definitely is already happening. But no matter what, you know, this past year, it's a company called the Neighborhood Connection, Bobby. And ironically, the guy that started that company, a guy named Ryan Green, used to be my courier when he was a student at San Diego State. So anyway, and the rep there, I can put it in the thing here, is his name is Lee DeLay. But anyway, so you know, everything works and nothing doesn't. So you've got to get out there. If your phone is not ringing, it's because you're not picking up the phone to call people. You're not doing any marketing, right? You're not, you can't just sit and do nothing, because nothing will happen. But there's a lot of things out there you can do that are not super expensive. So that's why this is a great, they mail them out. They mail these out every month. Like I say, I get to customize them because I get to put this is a cool sunset shot of Swami's, which looks nice. This listing right here that we're going to close on, that is at 3.5 million, came directly from this magazine. That's going to close on next week. So, like I say, everything works, and nothing doesn't. And I'm a big believer in direct mail for sure.
With consistency.
Yeah, you have to do it. That's the thing. Guess what? You can't just do one mail. It's a very good point, David. You cannot. How many times have I heard people say, I tried mailers. I didn't get anything. Well, how long did you do it? Well, we did we sent out a big mailer, nothing. Got nothing from it. Well, you're not going to get something from the first, if my phone's ringing off the hook, sorry. You're not going to get necessarily something from the first month, the second month. You got to do it consistently. But what you will get a return on immediately is going after expireds and canceleds and for sale by owners. So that's how to get now business. I talked with an agent the other day who has been in the business a long, long time. If I said his name, everybody in San Diego would know it. And his business got slow. And what did he do? He went out and knocked on doors around a property that he had sold by the beach, got I think a $4.5 million listing from it. Probate sale. Somebody had passed away. So, everything works if you do it and if you work it.
Great tips. You guys be consistent and you got to be committed and you have to have a plan and just execute. So Matt does so well, and he's always, if everybody's going left, he's trying to go right. If everybody's going right, he tries to go left. X-Man, the original X-Man, Dennis D'Souza. There he is.
There we go. Okay.
What's your number one tip? Because we're around 11 minutes left. So I'm going to get a number one tip from everyone. Go ahead.
So on this call, we have a lot of agents doing big numbers and doing a lot of, there's stuff we could all do that costs money. I like Mitch's idea that doesn't cost money, and I'll give you a tip that doesn't cost money. This is my number one pro tip that you guys should all, and I don't think anybody's really gone after it. Go after commercial agents that you know. We all know commercial agents. They don't do residential transactions, you guys. They don't want to do it. They're too proud almost. It's like, I'm not going to deal with that. They all have friends. They usually make decent amount of money. My top 3 referral sources every year for the last decade are 3 people that I know that are in commercial real estate. I take them each out to lunch every single month, once a month, okay? And one guy in particular, he gives me a referral every single time I go to take him to lunch. I'm like, who do you know, Jeff? And he's think. And he's like, oh, I know somebody. Oh, I know somebody. Oh, I know somebody. And sometimes I have to remind him, like, hey, how about that guy you told me about at lunch? And then he'll send it over. They don't all work out, but it's a great referral source. So, and the best part is he's getting 25% referral if I close that deal. So he's got skin in the game if he makes the deal happen, right? So that's my number one free tip is hook up with a commercial agent, ask him for referrals, and take him out to lunch.
Yeah, and then give them a tip and say you want to save a ton of money and move up in your career, join EXP Commercial.
That's it.
It's only 20 grand a year. It's a no-brainer. All right, let's go over to our other commercial guy. That was a great tip. Other commercial guy, Randy Zimnoch. He's in charge of Investor Agent Nation, otherwise known as Ian. And Randy, give your number one tip this upcoming year to get ROI on marketing.
Yeah, you've heard me talk about it over the last probably 6-7 months, maybe more, but Assumable, man, it gets the phone to ring. If you promote listings with low interest rates and you lead with nice little posts on social media, free, find listings that are promoting low interest rates, 2.5%, 3%. They're out there. Post about it on social media. Watch. Your friends and family are gonna be like, wait, how do I get that rate again? A lot of people don't understand that opportunity even exists. And it's just a way to get people to talk. And I can tell you a lot of them probably won't qualify, because they might not have the gap money, but it's like what everybody's saying. It's about getting to a conversation, getting in front of them, building trust. And then who knows, they might actually pursue one with an Assumable because they might have the gap funding, or they could get secondary financing, or they're just going to buy direct, VA loan or whatever, right? There's other ways of buying a property It doesn't have to be that way, but being the interest rates are in the sevens, telling you guys, if you leverage that type of marketing with the low interest rate being on the front and center of that post, people are going to inquire
Yeah,
about it.
VAs are assumable. That's
And
the big-
FHA and VA loans, all
Yeah.
of them are assumable.
So just dig them up, and we're not in a big military town here in San Diego, unfortunately, but if you can talk to military people, a lot of them have VA loans that are assumable if somebody qualifies with a certificate to do it. So that's the big thing. It's got to be VA to VA. Otherwise, go after FHA. But that's a great tip. I saved the best for last. Brian Yarber, what's your number one tip next year to really generate business with a high ROI and low cost?
Awesome. The one thing I've been consistent on my whole career, Pete, has been to send a Christmas or holiday card at this time of the year with a follow-up. I have a core group. I'm generational now with those Christmas cards. So I've started with my wife and I with our first baby in the womb still, and I have 40 years. This is my 40th year of Christmas cards. Now my grandkids, my kids, my family has grown from 2.5 to now we're 9 or 10 people on my Christmas card. And every year what it does is engages all of my audience that I've been working with long before there was technology into just the conversation of, wow, I can't believe this many years have gone by. And now I have clients who get my Christmas card and their kids get it as well, because I've been blessed with so many past clients that as their families have grown, I've expanded into that. And I'm doing a contest this year. I like the contest thing. I have 2 clients right now leading the way where I have over 10 transactions generational with their families. These weren't referrals. These were people buying and selling family properties. So I can kind of stay with my core group. If you have a core group, if you're brand new though, and you don't have a Christmas card list, one of the best things my first broker told me was, Brian, agents do get out of the market. So if an agent gets out of a market, or an agent who gets out of the market, start using their Christmas card list and start jumping in on introducing yourself to a market that maybe somebody dominated on is they're no longer in the business, and get familiar with a company who has, past clients in the area, and start working that. So there's nothing better than a sphere that sees you, that knows you, that recognizes you, and you've been consistent with it. So if you haven't been doing a holiday card or something similar, send it out. And then the most important part of it is to follow up in the first quarter with a phone call to those clients.
Okay, great. Randy, what did you want to clarify? That's a great tip, Brian. Thank you. On VA assumable, can a non-VA person assume it?
Yeah, because Jennifer wrote conventional. I think she meant to say that a non-military person can assume a VA loan. It's just that the VA person that's selling the property with that VA assumable, they what do you call it?
Lose eligibility on the
Eligibility.
certificate?
Exactly. They lose the eligibility, so they can't use the VA loan on the next house because a non-VA person assumed their loan, right? So it still works, and they do happen. There's got to be enough motivation for that VA seller to let go of their eligibility, right? And it can happen. Some people don't want it, they don't care about it because maybe they're not buying another house, right?
Yeah.
So good point, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back to Bobby had some great tips, and I want to go back to a couple of his tips. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We did a lot of holiday parties together and other stuff. So I'm so happy he's continuing that, because that's very beneficial. But when it comes, I'm going to just touch upon birthdays. People love most people love when it's their birthday, right? Because they like to be acknowledged. What I do, and this is just a little tip, just go into YouTube, and in the search bar at the top, just type in their name, say happy birthday, Cam. And probably 10 or 15 videos will come up, and then just text it to them and write a thing. Like I would say, hey, happy birthday, Cam. Hope you have an amazing birthday and a great celebration. Just thinking of you. And then I say Pete knows birthdays with a little birthday icon, and I send it to him. I do that at least 5 to 10 times a day, you guys. and the responses are unbelievable because it's not about me, it's about them and acknowledging them. So I'm sending funny videos or videos that align with them or things that they like. You know, they have talking dogs, they have talking cats, they have, you know, Julio Iglesias singing, they have all types of things, right? And people like that because they like to laugh and they like to celebrate and they like to enjoy it. But what they like even more than that is that you are acknowledging them and thinking of them on their birthday, where a lot of people just send a text or they say happy birthday and Facebook, you know, it's a one-click button. There's nothing special about that. But if you send a YouTube video that they can watch in 20 or 30 seconds, it can change your career, it can change your ROI, and it's free. It's just getting into a system and either having it in your Google Calendar or you can check Facebook every morning. And it takes, for me to do 10, it takes me around maybe 10 minutes. If not, probably, I think I have it down to around 7 minutes now, right? It's like 7-minute abs, but it's 7-minute birthday wishes. So if you do that, you'll be in front of people and you'll definitely get return from that. Go ahead, Dave Lawson.
Yeah, for new or newer agents and you want to send like a Christmas card, I recommend don't send a Christmas card, send a Thanksgiving card.
Yeah.
How many Thanksgiving cards do you get? 1 or 2, maybe? How many Christmas cards do you get? A lot, right? And so the Thanksgiving card that we're getting ready to send out, it just says something like, you know, at this time of the year, we're just so thankful for having great clients like you, and we really appreciate you. And it's all about them. It's the only piece of mailer. It's the only piece I do every year without a call to action. It's truly from the heart that it's just me and my team saying thank you to our friends, family, and our past clients and whatnot. And when you do something that nobody else does, it always has way more effect. So anyway, I put that in the chat, but I just thought I would remind everybody of that.
Yeah, so that's a great point because you want to be able to be seen, you guys. You don't want to be lost in the shuffle where they're getting 50 Christmas cards because, you know, all the families send out the Christmas cards. And I love the idea that Brian had where you write up a little letter and just kind of give insight on what's going on in your life. That's a little bit different of a Christmas setup. So that's really good too. No, some great tips. I mean, we're at the hour, but a lot of these tips, you guys, cost you nothing. It's just being consistent, being committed, and doing it each and every day. Like I said, by next week, I will have the ChatGPT done on Bobby's hair on how I keep my hair like his. So that'll be in ChatGPT if you need that, and then we'll go from there. But thanks for being on. Tell a friend. Everybody right now needs a friend in the business. Everyone right now needs ideas and opportunities to put into action and take action this weekend. Let's sell some houses.
Oh, and I forgot the most important thing. You guys, as you're talking to people, make sure that you say, if you want to buy or you want to sell anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world, contact me through my EXP database of 88,000 people. I can set you up with one of the very best agents in the country or the world. So the thing is, you're not local, you're international right now. So make sure that you tell people that. Thanks.
That's a great tip. Great tip. And all right, we'll end it on that. Everybody have a great weekend and we'll see you here next week.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Okay, you guys. Great seeing everyone.